You tapped when it said right. There's a limited time until like the 13th or something, or 13th, is that right? Yeah, until the 13th. They don't if our what's passing for Congress doesn't pass a budget deal, the government will shut down again. You know, um, first, I mean, we'll just make this brief. I mean, first of all, the procedures and the normal way of doing business apparently like causes them to their game with the two parties playing their game, like, and the issue of like things don't, you can't get something passed unless you agree to tack on things that have to do with another issue that's like considered normal. That's how the amendment process works. So they're doing all their games, the procedures aren't functioning, the two parties don't understand it's not a game, and the kind of individuals we have in it are something the founders would be spinning in their graves if they're like aware of it. I'll tell you something. All these government shutdowns and all this stuff. It's kind of like it's what Chomsky says about a lot of things like this. It may be a blessing. I mean, because the sooner the dysfunction rises to the surface like that the government keeps shutting down, that nothing gets done, the worse it is. It's that girl give me the flower said, maybe it can only get better from here. I mean, when it may just bring to the fore that something has to change, both about the kind of individuals we send to represent us, and to represent the people, the mentality of such people, and the procedures. That step they made to stop the filibuster in at least the Congress, that thing is still in place in the Senate. That was talked about. I mean, they used the word, gee, it's a very small sort of revolution in the procedures. All the procedures of it, the procedural aspect of it, that may be one of the main things that should be looked into. I don't know that the procedures have changed since the founding of the country. I mean, that the way it works, a lot of it tends to be why nothing happens. But the mentality of these individuals that are playing with, they play off of and work with the media system. And then do all their games and want to try to block the other party. If the government just keeps shutting down like that and stuff like that happens, it may lead to a kind of revolution in consciousness with regard to realizing that it's not just an issue of it's not the normal issues of like who can fund campaigns and corruption and things that are always there. No. I mean, this is really a crisis, but maybe it's a blessing if stuff like that keeps happening. People will become aware the need for like radical change is the only. There is a need for radical change, but people have to perceive it. They can't just it's going to shut down again if they can't reach a budget deal, but they can't reach a deal on anything for a number of reasons. Um, you know, it might be the best thing that could happen. Just keep having things happen that bring the population to the awareness that the democratic structures are just structures and they don't function. Chomsky's book Failed States, even though a lot of it's about other things, the part about it that to what extent is the structural features of our country, like, one, that they're not, the fact that they're not functioning, that does it qualify as a failed state? There is such a thing. I mean, without meaning the structures of a democracy, but not functioning. That's that may be, the more it becomes apparent, the more people may realize they have to, that something's wrong, that not the usual things that are wrong. Well, that might be the best thing.